God message for you today. In a world that can sometimes feel divided or harsh, kindness is the thread that binds us together. Let us always be kind, not just because it feels good, but because it has the power to heal, inspire, and create a brighter, more compassionate world for all. This speaks to the deep longing of the soul for wholeness, connection, and reunion with its source. The idea is that the soul, in its purest form, is always yearning to return to the place or state from which it originated, whether that's seen as divine, universal consciousness, or simply a state of unity and peace. This ache is not a superficial longing, but a profound sense of separation from the source of our true being. When we feel disconnected, lost, or searching for meaning in life, it is often the soul's yearning to reunite with something deeper and more profound. The pull toward spiritual awakening, love, and the search for truth can be seen as expressions of this inner desire for reunion. This longing is universal, felt in different ways by all of us, whether we recognize it or not. It manifests in our search for purpose, our desire for connection with others, and our quest for peace. The beauty of this ache is that it also serves as a guide, gently urging us to seek deeper truths, to heal, and to remember our interconnectedness with the universe and all that is. Ultimately, the soul's desire for reunion is a reminder that our true essence is already whole. It is simply a matter of remembering, returning, and reconnecting. You've beautifully captured the essence of the practice of mindfulness and self-awareness. By stepping out of the cycle of constant reaction and embracing the stillness of being the witness, we create space for clarity and peace. It's in this quiet, detached observation that we begin to recognize our deeper self, beyond the fleeting thoughts, emotions, and external events that often shape our experience. When we no longer identify with every thought or emotion, we free ourselves from the unconscious patterns that drive our behavior. Instead of being swept away by the tide of reaction, we become anchored in the present moment, allowing life to unfold without the need for constant control or judgment. This practice of inner stillness and awareness doesn't mean we are disengaged from life. Rather, it allows us to engage more fully, with a clearer, more balanced perspective. We begin to navigate life not from a place of anxiety or fear, but from a place of deep inner peace, able to meet each moment with grace, understanding, and wisdom. In this space, we discover the freedom of simply being, without the need to react, but instead to observe, learn, and grow. This is a beautiful and empowering approach to love. It shifts the focus from seeking love externally to cultivating it within ourselves and sharing it freely with the world. When we focus on giving love, whether through kindness, compassion, or understanding, we shift our energy from a place of lack to a place of abundance. By giving love unconditionally and without expectations, we open ourselves to receiving love in ways we may never have anticipated. Love is not something that can be forced or demanded. It's a natural flow that deepens and grows when shared freely. The more we give, the more we align with the essence of love, and in doing so, we attract it in return. This shift from getting to giving can be incredibly liberating. It removes the pressure of seeking validation or approval and instead allows us to become a source of positivity and warmth in the lives of others. The more we focus on nurturing love within and sharing it, the more it returns to us in abundance, often in ways that are unexpected but deeply fulfilling. Nichiren Daishonin's words highlight the profound transformative power of faith and the Lotus Sutra. Despite the accumulation of past misdeeds or negative karma, the act of taking faith in the teachings and in the Gohonzon, the object of devotion in Nichiren Buddhism, can bring about deep healing and purification. The metaphor of frost or dew disappearing under the sun of the Lotus Sutra illustrates how, when we turn to the teachings with sincerity, our burdens can be lifted and our negative karma can be erased, allowing us to experience a fresh start. Reflection on past actions, especially with deep sincerity, creates space for genuine gratitude. This gratitude arises not just as an acknowledgement of the teachings, but also as a profound appreciation for the opportunity to transform and embrace a life of happiness and inner peace. When we realize that we have the power to overcome our past and align ourselves with the truth of the Lotus Sutra, a deep sense of joy and empowerment naturally arises, replenishing our life force. This joy is not just emotional, but deeply energizing. It propels us forward with a renewed sense of purpose, vitality, and determination. Nichiren's teachings remind us that even in the face of past misdeeds, the potential for positive change and happiness is always available through our faith and practice. The Gohonzon, as a symbol of our potential for enlightenment, serves as a focal point for this transformation, guiding us toward a life of greater harmony, wisdom, and fulfillment. This statement captures the essence of humility and openness in the pursuit of wisdom and understanding. The moment we acknowledge that we don't have all the answers, when we recognize our own limitations, it creates the fertile ground for growth. It's in this space of not knowing that true curiosity and a desire to learn can flourish. When we let go of the need to have all the answers or to control the narrative, we open ourselves to new possibilities. The acknowledgement of our ignorance isn't a defeat, but a doorway. It's the starting point of a deeper quest for truth, understanding, and self-awareness. This realization creates a living reality of seeking, one that is dynamic and alive, constantly evolving as we open ourselves to what is yet to be discovered. This mindset fosters a sense of wonder and exploration, where every question becomes an invitation for growth, and every answer leads to new layers of understanding. It transforms the act of learning from a task into a way of being, an ongoing journey where the joy lies in the discovery, not the finality of knowing. This teaching emphasizes the profound truth of non-duality, which is central to many spiritual philosophies, including Advaita Vedanta. The concept of Atman refers to the true, eternal self beyond the body, mind, and ego, often described as pure consciousness or the essence of being. According to this view, everything in the universe, including the physical world, is an expression or manifestation of the Atman. The analogy of pots and jars being made of clay illustrates this beautifully. Just as a pot or jar, no matter its shape, is ultimately nothing other than clay, so too is everything in the universe an expression of the Atman. The forms and appearances of the world may vary, but their underlying reality is the same. the Atman, the Self, the infinite consciousness. For the enlightened soul, this realization transforms their perception of the world. They no longer see separation or duality between themselves and the world around them. All distinctions between self and other, subject and object, dissolve into the understanding that everything is a manifestation of the same ultimate reality. The universe, in all its forms, is not separate from the self, but an expression of it. This realization leads to a profound peace and unity, as one recognizes that the essence of all beings and things is the same. It's a reminder that, at the deepest level, everything is interconnected and unified in the ultimate consciousness of the Atman. When you reach that state of steadiness, it's as if you've found a solid foundation that anchors you, regardless of what's happening around you. Yoga, in this sense, becomes less about the body and more about mastery over your mind, finding peace in silence, balance in stillness, and strength in calm. It allows you to see the world more clearly, without the fog of distractions or emotions clouding your judgment. This steadiness gives you the ability to act with intention and awareness, which is when you truly begin to unlock your potential and face life's challenges with grace. Do you find that stillness helps you in other areas of your life as well? That's a profound reflection. It speaks to the idea of ego and self-identity. When we identify too strongly with our thoughts, feelings, or past experiences, it can sometimes lead us to feel small or inadequate. But when we detach from that, when we realize we are not our thoughts, we can see that we have inherent worth beyond any labels or judgments. Our value comes from simply existing, from being part of something much greater than ourselves. It's like stepping out of the story we've been telling ourselves and realizing we're part of the bigger picture. Have you found any practices or insights that help you connect with this feeling of being more than just your thoughts? Thich Nhat Hanh's words are so beautiful and true. Loving ourselves is the foundation of all other love. It's only when we truly accept ourselves, flaws, imperfections, and all, that we can genuinely open our hearts to others. Self-acceptance isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who we are in this moment, knowing that we are worthy of love as we are. This acceptance allows us to show compassion not only to ourselves, but to others too. When we can accept our own vulnerabilities, we're less likely to judge others for theirs. Do you feel like self-acceptance has been a challenge for you? Or have you found ways to make it a part of your daily life? That's a beautiful and deeply meaningful sentiment. It captures the idea that when we truly love and understand someone, we realize that material gifts or grand gestures aren't necessary. What's most meaningful is the connection, the reflection of each other. The gift of a mirror is symbolic, as it invites the other person to see their own beauty and value, recognizing themselves not just in the reflection but in the shared bond between you. It's a reminder that our true selves are always there, and that connection transcends all the things we think we can offer. It's like saying, I see you, and in seeing you, I see myself. How do you feel about the idea of gifts that go beyond the physical? Does this kind of exchange resonate with you? This is such a wise and patient reminder. It speaks to the idea that growth and change can't be rushed. No matter how much effort we put into something, its true results will come in their own time. Just like a gardener can tend to a plant, but the fruit will only appear when it's meant to. Our personal growth, relationships, and goals take their own time to unfold. We might not always see immediate results, but that doesn't mean the effort is wasted. It's part of the process. It reminds me that sometimes it's important to trust in the timing of things, even when we want them to happen right now. Do you find it challenging to wait for things to unfold in their own time, or have you come to appreciate that rhythm? You're absolutely right. The power we hold as individuals and as a collective is immense. Our actions, choices, and the way we interact with the planet and each other will determine whether we spiral into destruction or move toward a more conscious, harmonious existence. The Conscious Planet movement is so important because it encourages us to awaken to this responsibility and use our awareness to create positive change. It's a reminder that transformation begins with each of us, our thoughts, actions, and the choices we make for the planet. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the issues we face, but movements like this show that change is possible if we all contribute, however small it may seem. What part of the Conscious Planet message resonates most with you? How do you feel we can actively contribute to this transformation? That's such a profound realization. Life isn't about collecting things or experiences that we can take with us. It's about how we show up in each moment, how we bring our full presence and authenticity to the world. The way we make ourselves, through our choices, our love, our growth, is the only lasting thing we truly own. It brings to mind the idea that we don't need external validation or material wealth to find meaning. What matters most is how we cultivate our inner selves, how we grow in character and wisdom, and how we contribute to the world in the present moment. How do you work to make yourself wonderful in each moment? What practices or values help you stay grounded in this idea? That's such a balanced and holistic view of well-being. Physical and mental health are important, but true well-being comes from a deeper, internal peace and joy that isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's about cultivating a sense of contentment and bliss from within, regardless of what's happening around you. When you have that inner peace, it radiates out, influencing everything you do and how you experience the world. This reminds me of the importance of mindfulness, gratitude, and self-care practices that nurture the soul, not just the body. How do you cultivate that peacefulness and joy within yourself? Do you have practices that help you connect to your inner sense of bliss? Absolutely. Hardship, while painful, can often be a powerful catalyst for growth. It's during the most challenging times that we are pushed to develop resilience, deepen our understanding, and tap into inner strengths we didn't even know we had. However, it's true that much of the mental hardship we experience is a result of how we respond to the external circumstances. We can sometimes amplify our suffering through our thoughts, judgments, and the stories we tell ourselves. The key is shifting our mindset, learning to view challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to build strength, wisdom, and a deeper sense of well-being. This shift in perspective can be transformative. Do you find that you are able to reframe difficulties in this way, or is it something you're working on? How do you approach mental hardship when it arises? That's a brilliant insight. The mind can be like a never-ending stream of thoughts, questions, and distractions. It's easy to get caught up in that constant mental activity, believing we must always engage with it. But the key is recognizing when to step back, when to stop playing that game, and allow ourselves some space to simply be. Stillness, silence, and mindfulness give us the opportunity to observe the mind without getting entangled in it. This way, we're not constantly reacting or overthinking, but instead, we can cultivate clarity and peace. Do you find that you need to consciously remind yourself to take breaks from the mind's chatter? Or have you developed practices that help you detach from that constant mental game? That's a powerful truth. Well-being built on the suffering of others is not sustainable. Even if we momentarily gain something from someone else's pain, that imbalance creates a deeper cost, both to our integrity and our sense of inner peace. True well-being comes from acting with compassion, fairness, and respect for others. It's about lifting ourselves and others up, not at anyone's expense, but through mutual growth and understanding. This speaks to the interconnectedness of us all. When we treat others with kindness and equity, we contribute to a collective well-being that uplifts everyone, including ourselves. How do you practice fairness and compassion in your own life? Have you noticed how these actions impact your sense of well-being? Share this video if you love God. Subscribe this channel for more blessings. Type yes if you believe.